Aries, this is your latest relationship reading. So, you already probably know how intense this has been for you lately. You have got the Judgment card and the Tower card on your side of the situation. We're going to look into the person you're dealing with too. We'll pull more cards to clear it up, and I will just let you know to take what resonates and leave the rest. To me, this looks like a relationship reading where things are extremely intense. Something that can't be ignored is being stirred up right now, just like these birds being called from some sort of a higher power is the message of Judgment. It's the energy of transformation and change that cannot even be avoided anymore or go unnoticed. So you may know that there is upheaval in your relationship lately. There may even be a tearing everything down to potentially rebuild, or potentially not. I mean, the Tower card can really be a challenge sometimes when everything is happening externally and you feel like you've no control over the situation, and things are maybe even catching you by surprise, or you may even feel like the rug has been pulled from under you, and there can be a spiral that can happen at times when I see this. And I think both of you are in this spiral because they're actually coming through with the Aries card on their side, the Emperor. The imagery is very similar in the Tower and the Emperor. So it could be another Aries that you're dealing with, or you could be dealing with another Marsy type. Both of these cards together talk about the planet Mars. Mars rules Scorpio, Mars rules Aries, but also Mars is conflict and disagreement and intensity, and sometimes it can be the clash of heads. It can even be sort of dynamic issues coming up around sex and power and that will to assert dominance. And it can be, we're talking the Roman god of war here, Mars. It's powerful stuff. But then the two kind of peaks of the tree in the Moon card, which is another major arcana card. Like, this is not an easy breezy airy fairy reading. It's not for the relationship that feels light and fluffy to your spirit right now. It speaks to the relationship that is chaotic, even scary, even triggering as hell. And the Moon card, the two kind of peaks of the tree here, to me speak to both of these trees that are here on each side for you. So both of you are in it. Both of you are in the threshold or the void or the kind of chasm of strangeness, intensity. What the fuck is going on? Oh my gosh, we'll have to get into it, because what the hell is going on, I should say, excuse my language, but it's that Marsy energy, like volatility, high, like kind of like high stakes, or something that doesn't just feel easy at the moment. So yeah, things may have just been completely transformed for you, switched on their head, come crashing down. The Emperor card and the Eight of Pentacles on their side. Looking at the spider's web imagery of the Eight of Pentacles in this deck, we can see prey being something that comes up with the spider's web, or a mechanism to catch or entrap. Usually I don't read the Eight of Pentacles like that at all, but because this reading seems to be so intense and like high energy, and like that there's a real strong focus towards tearing things down to rebuild things, or just to leave them as they are, like things kind of destructing or combustion in the reading. I would say that this Eight of Pentacles can't just be like, oh, work related, because there is something a little bit more deep going on. I mean, it can be work related. The person you're dealing with could be their own boss. They could have got a new job. They could be making different priorities in their life more important right now, like their job, like their boss, like being their own boss. That can for sure come up. But there could have been some sort of a trap laid for you too, Aries, or vice versa, you laying some trap. The person that you're dealing with has fallen into the trap, or vice versa. You'll know what way this seems more relevant, but let's just get right into the reading. There has also been perhaps a web of lies that can also come up when I see the spider's web, and the Moon card can deal with deception, illusion, and secrecy. So you may notice that there is a web of lies around this relationship too. If this is not your relationship, don't worry. This is not, I feel like this is already known to you. So if it's not your relationship reading, don't worry. That doesn't have to be for you. It can be for somebody else, because to me, this is already something that's pretty apparent. It's not something that's creeping out of the woodwork. It's well and truly cards out on the table. Let's look deeper into Judgment. Let's look deeper into the Tower for you. Coming up on your side of things, Aries. So I'm sensing that this is a very intense chapter of your relationship storyline. The Son of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. If you're dealing with a Virgo at the moment, you're seriously let down by them, and they may be particularly a Virgo, but it could be any of the people you're dealing with that this rings true to. They have told you all this time, like, we have a direction. That's the Son of Wands. We have a shared goal. This is associated with Sagittarius, the sign of the goals and the goal orientation. We are going towards the same outcome. But then the Nine of Pentacles in reverse with the Tower is like, oh, really, all that work was for nothing, and all those, like, that vision that we shared really has been like turned on its head. And that's where I get the sense like a rug being pulled from under you, because upright, the Nine of Pentacles is really comfortable. It's really like, and I mean comfortable in their surroundings, like comfortable in the structures and the material security and the home and the living situation and the plans and the nest, basically, is what I get from that. The nest has been so comfortable, and then it was just like quite suddenly with the Tower just pulled from you, and you're kind of in a tailspin at this point. The Son of Wands and the Judgment card. The direction that this relationship seems to be going on, your, based on how you see it right now, is like it's going to be transformed for good. Whatever that may mean to you, just know that the direction that this is going, it is being given a chance to be transformed. Does that look like a permanent death to the relationship? Does that look like a rebirth being possible for the relationship? One way or another, it's going to be one or the other. And that the Judgment card is saying, like, you have a opening now, a chance now at this time to transform it for in whatever way you wish, but it can't really go back to how it was. And that's why this seems to be such an unsettling and intense reading for you in your kind of nest at the moment. It's like the bird being told, like, shoot, you got to get out. Or I'm seeing like even the terrible image of like an egg falling out of a nest before it's hatched, and that's not such a good thing for the egg, of course. For anybody involved, that's not a good thing. So is there something coming up there about something that happened in a premature way? There's a sense that this has been so soon for this to come up, or like this has been even, you've been almost like reaching a point on the journey where you can't believe how soon that you're confronted with this issue, this event. Let's have a look at where they're at. Somewhat a little bit more stable than you at this time. And like, you're both in this kind of chasm together. Like I said, the Moon card, I see you both like thinking, what's going on, what's next, we don't know. I don't know what they think, they don't know what you think, vice versa. But for whatever reason, the Emperor card is a little bit more grounded, and it seems to be them that have had a little bit more of the power. And if it was them laying the traps of that spider's web, well, they were the one pulling the strings, and they were the one kind of the machinations were coming from them. Maybe they were the one that was lying. The Ace of Swords and the Fool card. How interesting. There's that bird that I'm talking about making the leap off the tree, and it's like this is happening too soon. We have the Devil card just kind of creeping out from behind there as well. I get the sense then that there was a material issue, such as arguing about money or finances or different priorities around like how at where you guys were at with regards to some sort of a plan for the future and the vision. But that's super interesting. You know, both of you could have felt in a sense that the other person wasn't being honest about where they saw this going. That was the image I got in my mind of like a little egg falling out of the nest, sadly, before it had hatched. And the bird now, it's like, it's still this kind of like, I'm not ready for this change, or there's this kind of fear. So, you know, it's almost like you witness something like that happen and you feel unsettled. There is an unsettled energy that I'm picking up on in this reading. It seems like the person that you're dealing with, you know, they've kind of seen what they need to see. Is it themselves that they've seen clearly? The Ace of Swords is very illuminating, and they maybe have seen a side of themselves that they're like, wow, I'm able to admit that, I'm like able to see it, and it's just really like loud and clear to them. If it's that they've been manipulative, that's becoming clear to them. Like if it's that they've been like the villain all along, that's becoming clear to them. If it's you, Aries, that they perceive to be the villain all along, they are starting to unravel certain webs, and they're starting to really understand what's been going on behind all of the, I'm gonna say, appearances. And there's like plotting, and there's like planning and scheming. It's not looking like the most healthy situation at this time, and I feel like the Devil card being closely followed these two other cards. It's kind of like this brings an element of fear or control, or even toxicity into the relationship. Okay, hot and heavy reading, Aries. So again, just take what resonates and leave the rest. It could be any kind of relationship. Let's look at the Moon card now. So this represents where this trajectory is headed towards based on things staying the same. Things are always subject to change. You and this person are co-creating the future of this relationship together. But based on how things are right now and the likelihood of things continuing the way they are, if that's so, the Moon card seems to be what's presented as an outcome. The Seven of Wands, I like that for you. And the Ace of Cups, well, I really always do like to see the Ace of Cups in any kind of a relationship reading, any kind of a connection or bond, because it says that there's still opportunity for healing, there's opportunity for connection here. So the Seven of Wands, you can shine a light in the dark. You need to illuminate something. The way forward is not through secrets. It's not through being left in the dark. It's through, you know, advocating, setting boundaries, sticking up for yourself, standing up for yourself. If there's anything you need to get off your chest, let it be known. Stand your ground though, and know that you should still be proud of yourself, even if you feel like you've let yourself down or been let down on some level. But I think shining a light on the corners of things that are still unknown and being quite fearless is the Seven of Wands. They've implied this with the match here and the illumination, like being a spark to inspire honesty and integrity. And then one more thing I was going to say, like not being afraid to explore the darker aspects of your own psyche, like you're contributing factors to this, and vice versa, like looking at them quite clearly as well. The Ace of Cups, so meanwhile they are seeing that even through all the confusion, that there is this connection that's there, and there is the Ace of Cups, I guess, like they have some hope, they have they see potential there for this. Okay. I think the nice cooling blue color is a relief to see. It's been a lot of like fiery colors and intense energies, like the Judgment card and the Emperor and the Wand and the Moon, you know. It's all very intense in this reading, so I like to see the blue come in and just sort of like water it down a little bit, water down some of that fire. Thanks for watching, Aries, and I'll chat to you soon.